morning, everybody. I am getting ready to go to my midwife appointment. I have to update you guys. Yeah. Oh, I put too much on. Whoopsies. Yeah, baby. I have to go to my. Oh, you're talking to Mima. She's pretending to be on the phone. I used way too much. Oh my god. Really, Lindsay? This is ridiculous. Well, as I blend this out, because I used way too much, I have my midwife appointment today, and thank God. Because yesterday, I think I ended yesterday's vlog telling you guys that I had quite a bit of Braxton Hicks contractions. They did last about 2 hours. I'm not gonna lie. So I wasn't able to like time them. It was just kind of like a constant tightness and lower back pain. And then, I need a different brush. And then in the middle of the night, last night, I was wide awake from like 1:30 to 3:30, and I had quite a bit of pressure down below, like in my butt, my groin area, basically everywhere. So I was like, okay, she's moving down. She's getting ready. And a lot of you said, that's your nanny. A lot of you said that was normal. I'm still having, not like, I had period-like cramping this morning, and right now it's just my whole back and stomach just feels tight. Like I feel like out of breath and like someone's squeezing me. Oh, more Lammy. Except this time, I was a bit more concerned because this morning I wiped after I peed, and I had about 2 pea-sized, tight stomach spots of bright red blood. I haven't had anything since. It was definitely my vagina. It wasn't like from my butt or anything. And it was from like up inside. It wasn't like a cut or anything like that. So I'd say, yeah, when I wiped, it was like 2 pea-sized amounts. But that I noticed after I had already wiped. I used way too much toilet paper. I wiped like 4 times because I hate even having a little bit of wetness. And the last 2 I wiped, I didn't check the first 2. Blue? Is that blue? But the last 2 were like 2 pea-sized amounts of bright red blood. So thank God. Yeah, blue. So thank God I have my midwife appointment today. Just so that I can like ask her like what the heck. And if she wants me to go in, I'll go in to labor and delivery. Is it blue? Oh, it's blue. So yeah, I think it's okay, but I don't know. I had a feeling that I'm dilating because I've had so much pressure. I'm 34 weeks today, so obviously, you can see her in the shower there. Obviously, I don't want her to come yet because it's too early. I mean, if she was born now, she'd probably be fine. It's just her lungs wouldn't be. Anyways, I don't want to jump ahead of myself, but is it blue, Blake? But it's just, you know, a little bit more concerning because apparently blood at any stage right now, like at this stage, is not like a good thing. So, I guess, is it blue? I guess we'll just have to monitor it. By the way, I got this Too Faced Cocoa Contour kit at Winners for $30. I don't know if it's anything, honestly, but just the fact that I've had like contractions for like 2 hours yesterday, and then a lot of pressure, I'm just kind of like, oh my God. So we'll see what they say. I will keep you guys updated.
Mommy.
Yes, sweetheart.
Look.
What's blue?
Mouth.
Your mouth is blue. Your mouth's not blue. So down, you want down? Okay. So I'll see you guys in a little bit. I'll let you know what's gonna happen. Y'all, I am completely and utterly exhausted from today. I've got B watching some YouTube videos because I'm so tired. It's way later in the day. It's 5 o'clock now. And I didn't want to, I'm so tired. I don't want to leave you guys hanging, obviously. So I went to my midwife appointment and she said that I probably have what's called an irritated uterus, and that's normal for second babies, she was saying, because your uterus has already been through labor and everything. So with the second one, the second pregnancy, you could have more contractions, you could have more pressure. And she said the blood doesn't concern her because it was so little. She said if it's, is that Elmo? If it's to the point of like, she said if it's like, I'm just gonna turn it up for her. If it's like period blood, if it's like period blood, and like that much, then that's, she said, call me right away. But because it was just a pea-sized amount and a little bit when I wiped, she said that's not concerning. She said that's very normal. And she said, you know, if you find that you are having contractions that aren't really going away, she said the rule of thumb is, or like to make them stop, have lots of water, 2 Tylenol, and a bath. She said if it doesn't go away after those 3 things, then call in. But otherwise, she said it's totally normal. So I'm very relieved that that everything is fine. And we actually talked about induction options. So I've been doing a lot of praying. I do believe in God. I'm a very, I'm not gonna say I'm like super religious because we don't go to church every Sunday and, you know, stuff like that, but I am religious. I believe very much in God, and I've been praying a lot the last few days, and I don't know why, but my gut is telling me to go for a VBAC. It just is. And so far, there are a lot of factors that are in my favor for that to happen. A being that Olivia is not nearly as big as Blake, and I'm still measuring right on track. So she's not a big baby, or at least not 9 pounds, 10 ounces, and she's not sunny side up. She was at one appointment like 3 weeks ago or a month ago, but she's not at the moment. And it's just, I can't explain, like, I'm not like, you know, I just want to do the safest option for me and my child. So you guys know I'm not like, I really don't want a C-section, blah, blah, like, I don't care. I just want a healthy baby. So I'm not biased in my decision. It's just, I'm strictly going with instinct, and my gut and every fiber in my being is telling me to try. So I want to try. So we talked about options. She sent a message to my OB to see if he would be willing to do this type of induction. It's called, I can't think of the name. I'll ask my mom. It's like a something catheter. Obviously, because I have a previous C-section, I can't go on Pitocin because that is too strong and that could cause a rupture. But they can induce you with, it's basically a catheter-like thing that goes into your uterus, and they, it's like they release water, and it's kind of like a balloon. And I'm sure you guys have heard of it, but it basically blows up like a balloon, and it puts pressure on your cervix, and they leave it in for about 12 hours, and it either comes out on its own or they take it out. And she said at that point you should be, most people after that are about 3 to 4 centimeters dilated. At that point, she said, we'd break your water and wait for labor to start. She said that we could do that on March 28th or March 27th, the evening of, or the evening before my C-section. We could do it then. She said, or you could cancel your March 28th C-section and we could do it at like 39 weeks, 5 days, because no matter what, my OB will not let me go past 40 weeks with gestational diabetes, whether she's measuring normal or not. They just don't. That's protocol. They will not let me go past 40 weeks. So I have to decide if I want to try that at 39 weeks right before my C-section, or if I want to wait till a couple, like 39 and a half. So we might try that. And I'm also going to start trying acupuncture, because my mom and I both go to a naturopath who said that he has done acupuncture on many pregnant women. And he said every single one he has done acupuncture on has gone into labor within 24 to 48 hours of getting the acupuncture. So I'm going to try that at 38 weeks. I'm going to do the stretch and sweeps. I'm going to do that balloon induction. I'm going to do the, there's like a witch's, not a witch's brew. I think they call it like a midwife's brew or something that has a little bit of, I know castor oil is like, don't do that, but it has like very little castor oil, and it has like some other juices or something that's supposed to put you into labor. So I'll try that, and we'll see how it goes. She said, what would work, would be or what would happen if so say we try it and I don't go into labor, then obviously I would just do my scheduled C-section the next day. Or if I wait till I'm 39 and a half weeks and we try all those things and it doesn't work, she said then at the 40-week mark, you just be at the hospital, and you just wait at the hospital until they have room to do, or time to do your C-section, and then they can take you in and do your C-section. So those are kind of my options. I'm not going to cancel my C-section yet, because my OB did say you can leave it to a week before if you want. It's not a big deal. But I just want to try. I don't know what it is. I think I can do it. The fact that she's smaller and the fact that she's in a good position and I haven't gained as much weight, and she did say, you know, you had a 9-pound, 10-ounce baby that was sunny side up. That's pretty, she's like, those odds are not in your favor to have a vaginal delivery. Like she just wasn't coming. But if you have a smaller baby that's in a good position, who's to say that I won't go into labor? Do you know what I mean? So I definitely think that I'm gonna try all those things to put myself into labor. So if y'all have any recommendations on what puts you in labor, or if you know that like midwife's brew or whatever I'm thinking of in my head, if you could like leave it down below for me. I mean, I can Google it, but I just want to hear your experiences. If you guys had a VBAC, was it successful? That's the other thing. She said VBACs are 70% success rate, have a 70% success rate. And I said, you know, if it was you, what would you do? And she's like, well, she's like, off the record, if it was me, she's like, I would try, because I would want to try. And I know everybody's telling me, even my husband and my mom are like, we kind of rather you just do the C-section, because we're worried that you're going to go through labor and all that pain and end up in a C-section. And, you know, that's their opinion. Everyone's saying, oh, you know, just go for the section. It's easier. Just go for the section. But I'm like, you know, it's really not easier. Like it's easier to walk in and, you know, they cut you open and you have your baby. But for those of you that haven't had a C-section, those 6 weeks of recovery are hell. and it does really hurt. It's very painful. I can't lift anything over 10 pounds for 6 weeks. I can't go on walks for 6 weeks. I can't drive for 6 weeks. It is major abdominal surgery, and it's hard. Like, it is hard. And even my OB was saying to me, you know, you probably forget how painful a C-section is. He's like, it hurts like a bitch. So he's like, it is going to hit you like a ton of bricks. So just keep that in mind. You know, it's not as everyone says. I think you just forget the pain. Like, everyone's like, oh, it's just easier to have a C-section, but the recovery is so hard. It's so hard. So if I can have a vaginal, I mean, I feel like I just need to try. It's in my gut. And you know what? If it doesn't work and I end up in a C-section, then that's God's will. And I'm fine with that. I will survive. I'm a strong girl. I'm a healthy girl. My baby girl's gonna be healthy. But yeah, so I'm gonna try. That's just how I am. I'm not stressed about it. I'm not like worried. I'm just like, you know what? I'm leaving it up to God, but I'm at least gonna try. And if at some point I think, you know what, this isn't a good idea, I change my mind, then I can change my mind. But I'm fairly certain that this is something that I want to do. So I just thought I would update you guys on everything, and please let me know your experiences down below if you had a VBAC or successful one or what have you. And yeah, and I'm also tired because I took my parents, well, they drove me, but we took them to see that model home again, and Blake was running around everywhere, and we were going over plans and like just all this stuff, because I don't know if I mentioned, I don't even think I mentioned that my parents, so we are, if everything works out, buying a lot. Colin and I are building our own house with a 2-car garage, the one that I showed you in my last vlog, or one that's just a little bit smaller. It's 2,200 square feet instead of 28, not including a basement. I think that's plenty of space, and I don't want too much to clean. And I don't want to have too much stuff. Like, I don't want a huge home, even though that's a good size. And then my parents are gonna build their own house right beside that's attached to the garage. So it'll be like our house, 2-bay garage, their house. But it will look beautiful. Like, it's all gonna look like one big estate, but they have their own space. So that's what we're doing, because we've always wanted to do that with them, because they want to downsize, and you know, when they're older, we want to be able to look after them. So it's just nicer to be on the same property. And so anyways, it was just a very busy day, and I'm so tired. So I'm sorry, but I'm not gonna like continue. Well, I'll probably show you guys Colin when he gets home. He's actually supposed to be home within about half an hour. And I've got to make some supper for this little munchkin. But yeah, those are my plans. I'm going for the VBAC, and I'm hoping, if you guys have had that type of induction, oh my God, what is it called? If you've, maybe I'll leave it like across the screen or something. If you've had that type of induction, excuse me, let me know if it worked for you. And yeah. I'm excited. You know what? If it doesn't work, then I'll have my C-section, and it is what it is. So anyways, I appreciate all of you who have been giving me your advice and your love and support. I always appreciate your opinion and your advice. Obviously, every doctor has a different opinion. Every midwife has a different opinion. I'm just kind of going with my gut, and now that I have all the information, I just feel like I don't want to just go for a C-section because people think it's easier, because it's not easier. It's just not. And not that like I'm offended that people think it's easier. Like, I'm not at all. It's just, it's something that I need to do for myself. And even my husband, you know, after I told him that, he was like, you're right, it's your body. You've got to do. Is that cute? Oh, that's Oscar the Grouch. And Elmo. He and my mom were like, you know what? You're right. We'd rather you just do the C-section, but it's your body. Like, it's up to you. So that's just my instinct. So I'm going to try. But anyways, I've rambled long enough. I'm going to end it. No, I'm not going to end it. I'll show you Colin and what we have for supper and stuff. But I'm so tired. I'm so tired. Oh, and I have my ultrasound tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. Just a routine ultrasound. And yeah, y'all, I'm 34 weeks. So in 4 weeks, I'm going to be starting to try inducing labor. Oh my God. It's like getting so real. I've already got my hospital bag packed. Well, her hospital bag. Oh my God, it just blows my mind. But just pray for me. Everything goes well. And yeah, I'll talk to you later. So we're just gonna have bacon and eggs for supper. So we got toast ready to go, eggs, bacon. This is a bacon screen. I don't know where I got it, but bacon's cooking. And this bread is that Stone Mill Creek I showed in my grocery haul. For 2 slices, it's only 19 carb and 0 sugar. So I can have 2 slices of this as opposed to 1 of the other bread. So if you guys have gestational diabetes or you're just looking for a lower carb, the Honest Wellness, ignore my pink socks, sprouted rye and 12 grain is where it's at. We got beat to bed and we are watching Shark Tank. We watch it every night, don't we, baby? And I'm uploading a video. I'm so tired. So I'm gonna see you guys tomorrow. I'll let you know how my ultrasound went tomorrow. And I've got to film some meal prep videos before baby girl gets here. So, oh, and I spoke to the doctor that does the acupuncture, and he said he's done 7 pregnant women. All 6 of them went into labor within 48 hours, and the 7th went into labor within 72 hours. So fingers crossed. I booked him for the 19th of March and the 20th of March, the week I'm 38 weeks pregnant, and hope that puts me in the labor. So I'm excited. We're gonna do it. See you guys tomorrow.